Light melt in your mouth vegan crepes that are easy to make. They're a great breakfast for a weekend treat that pairs perfectly with a homemade Nutella spread. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make vegan crepes at home. Using only a handful of ingredients, this recipe makes the softest and thinnest crepes you'll ever make. I'll also be showing you how to make a chocolate hazelnut spread that's very similar to a Nutella that pairs perfectly with these crepes. Now, as always, you can find all of these recipes on our new website, heartfultable.com, that will link for you in the description below. To make the chocolate and hazelnut spread, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 355 Fahrenheit and add 2 cups of raw hazelnuts to a large baking tray and spread them out. Place it in the oven and bake for 10 to 12 minutes until the hazelnut skins start to crack and darken. Be careful though, as they can turn very quickly, so keep an eye on them. Let them cool for about 5 minutes, then add them to the center of a clean tea towel and wrap them up like a parcel. We're doing this to remove the skins of the hazelnuts. For this recipe, you don't want to use pre-roasted hazelnuts, as they won't release their oils like freshly roasted ones do. So please use raw hazelnuts and roast them yourself for best results. Rub the hazelnuts to cause friction in the tea towel and the skins should come off relatively easily. Repeat until you've done all of them and add the hazelnuts to your food processor as you go. So ones that look like the skins are almost completely off, I just pick those up as well and just quickly roll them between my hands just to get that last little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but probably about 80 to 90% of the skins are removed, and then it should be fine. We just want to remove the bitterness from the hazelnuts. Process them, scraping down the sides occasionally until you get a creamy hazelnut butter. This can take anywhere from 2 to 15 minutes depending on your appliance. Our little blender only took about 2 to 3 minutes. You want a smooth consistency, so keep processing until you reach it. Now we need to add the rest of the spread ingredients. 3/4 cup of icing sugar, which is also known as confectioner's sugar, 1/4 cup of cacao powder, 2 tablespoons of any neutral oil, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt to balance it out. Continue to process. Once you've added in the rest of the ingredients into your food processor, it'll actually firm up first as it's blending, but just push through that as it'll become nice and smooth a couple of minutes later. And it's done! A silky smooth hazelnut and chocolate butter that you can enjoy on your crepes, toast, drizzle over fruit, or what I like to do is eat it with a spoon. Now let's move on to the crepes. To a large bowl with a sieve, add 1.5 cups of 00 white flour and 1/2 cup of chickpea flour. Ideally use scales for this process. Both cup and weight measurements are listed on our website. Now add 1/8 teaspoon of bicarb soda to give the crepes a slight lift and sift it into the bowl. Add in 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of neutral oil like grapeseed oil, and 1.5 cups of unsweetened plant milk. We used soy. Using an electric hand mixer, slightly whisk the ingredients to combine enough so you don't have them going everywhere as you whisk. Whisk the batter until smooth, then add 1/2 cup of cold water and mix again to loosen the batter. It should be the consistency of pouring cream. Make sure you warm up the frying pan on medium heat before adding oil to it. This can take a few minutes. This is so that the first pancake is evenly fried as well. When hot, add about a teaspoon of oil and swirl it around the pan so that it covers the whole surface. Use just under 1 full ladle per crepe, depending on the pan you're using. Adjust after the first one if needed. The pan surface should be covered in batter with a thin layer with one movement. That way the crepe stays thin and even. Cook on the first side for a few minutes or until lightly golden. So we just wait for the top of it to dry out completely and for the crepe to start separating from the edges of the pan a little bit before we flip it. We want it to be golden on the outside, and then once you've flipped it, you leave it for another 30 seconds or so, and then it should be ready to go. It's always a nerve-wracking thing to flip the crepe, but once you've done it and it's all good, just got to keep an eye on if it's ready on the other side, that's all. I know I shouldn't be using a metal spatula or a non-stick surface, but that's all I had and made sure I didn't really touch the pan with it. Continue the process until you have used up all of the batter. You'll get around 8 crepes that are ready to eat. Enjoy with whatever topping or filling you like. The easiest way to enjoy it is with some jam, or for an extra indulgent version, topped with the hazelnut chocolate spread we made earlier, and some sliced banana. These super soft crepes are so good that you won't even realize that they're vegan. Happy cooking!